I'm happy for our guys because they're starting to get rewarded for their identity. I think we figured out that if we're going to win games, it's got to be at the defensive end. It's got to be with our rebounding. It's got to be with our toughness. And I thought the first 32 minutes were defined by that. They really and when you do that, the offense becomes easier for them. We did a lot of good things offensively there in the first 32 minutes. But the best thing is when things weren't going good the first 32 minutes on the offensive end, when we missed free throws, which we did, I think J-Rob missed a couple easy shots that at Irvine it was the end of the world. Today they just got back and defended because that's who we got to be. And we made it harder than we could have, and made a lot of mistakes. I think 11 turnovers in the last 8 minutes to make it interesting. But if you defend like that, you're gonna still be able to overcome those mistakes. And right down to the end, we had a couple good stops when we needed them, and it makes it, I think, a lot easier to make free throws at the end of the game when you know that it doesn't matter. We go down the other end. My brothers have my back because we're gonna get a stop. And I just liked our attitude today and our effort. And it unfortunately doesn't feel quite as good because it could have been, we haven't been in that situation even at home, except for the D2 games. Unfortunately, we haven't had a season where we've had an opportunity to really step on somebody and take them out. And we didn't do well with that today. That's all. But if that's your only negative, that you didn't knock somebody out and you just had to settle for a 12-round split decision, we'll take it, because I think in that decision it was decisive for most of the game.
All right, we'll open up for questions. Bob?
Was part of the problems with the turnovers, they doubled all of a sudden, obviously down the last 4 minutes, and it looked like guys weren't getting back to help Colin.
Yeah, Michael Carter was definitely, he had an upset stomach, wasn't feeling good towards the end of the game. They tried to calm it down, but he for one, is leading us in free throw percentage. He was down next to me. I'm like, you got to get up there and help these guys. But again, what happens in a situation like that? They have nothing to lose. They're in big trouble, and they got very aggressive, and they did a really good job. And you have to give them credit for, how they attacked with their pressure, at the end of the game and trapped us, and we haven't been ahead like that, and guys. When you don't want to make a turnover and you're holding the ball to make sure, that's when, it becomes difficult sometimes to break that pressure. But we'll learn from it. We'll watch it, and I think it's very correctable. We had a lot of good ball handlers out there, and we just got to, you can't practice against that because nobody in practice is going to be that desperate, playing that hard and helter-skelter like that. So we needed to experience it, and I think the next time we get pressed like that, we'll be much more organized and much more decisive in our decisions. Especially when you have 3 timeouts. I mean, we didn't have to come to that.
Coach, Hawaii's crowd seems to travel really well all the time. How tough is it to pull off a season sweep over a program like that?
Well, it's been a while. I mean, I think it's been probably 5 or 6 years since we've done that. And I think the last time we did it, they beat us in the championship to go to the NCAA tournament. So whatever year that was. So, but this is a different group and a different year, and these guys are making their own mark. And we got 4 games left against 4 teams that beat us the first time through, and we're really anxious to see how much we've improved and if we can turn the tides on that. But yeah, Hawaii's has the best home court advantage in the league. So, winning at their place was special, for our guys, and the way we did it. We did it with our defense. We did it staying together through a lot of frustration, and the guys are in a good place right now. They've been in a good place individually, mentally, and competitive wise all year, but they've really banded up together here the last couple of weeks, and really are relying on each other a lot.
Drew, can you talk about the mentality for a player who really stresses his defense as opposed to any other part of your game, and the team knows that you're the defensive leader out there? Can you just talk about the mentality of how you do that?
Right. I mean, with this team, we have so much length and activity on that side of the floor. We have the potential to be a very great defensive team, and I think going into the year, we knew that, and we wanted that to be our identity, as he said. So I just try to bring energy on that side of the floor and go as hard as I can every day and lead by example as best as I can and bring those guys along with me because they're all great defensive players themselves. And if I lead by example and they have somebody to follow, I think we have a great potential and great ceiling we could tap into going into this tournament.
Jordan, you re-entered the starting lineup in this one. What was your mindset heading into this game? And you led the team in rebounding in this game. How can you speak on where your mindset was with the rebounding as well?
Seeing that we had an injury with Romel Menzel, I felt like it had to be the next man up, and I had to pick up the slack for the rebounds for him, and I felt like I had to bring a more defensive mentality to the lineup.
He also was rebounding the ball really well too, and I want to, that wasn't one of his strengths a year or two ago, but he's gotten stronger, and he knew that we were going to have to win the boards to win this game, and I was really proud of all our guys. I think we had 7 guys with 4 rebounds or more, which has got to be a season high for us to have 7 guys all contributing on the boards. It was a team effort, but. That was one of the things that when he was struggling offensively, and he's 0 for 5 from the field, he didn't let that bother him. And that mindset that all our guys has been really great to coach here the last couple of weeks.
Coach, with Chance Hunter, his minutes seem to be limited in this one. Is it an ankle issue with him?
Yeah, it was. He did a great. Chance was awesome. He and Romel neither practiced yesterday. They were both game time decisions, and the thing as a coach, you don't want it indecisive. So I didn't know if they were going to go or not. So we said this is who's going to start, and there'll be bonus if they can come. And both of them gave us great minutes, and Chance really gave us a good spark offensively. And then at the end of the game, he came in and got a couple really good rebounds down the stretch for us, and both those guys coming with injuries into this game were real key. It was just a great team. I don't really want to single out, that's what I said in the locker room, anybody, because I thought it was really a great team win.
Dan, we've talked a lot about the new guys in the program and the fact that they've all contributed. Can you just talk about the 2 guys you're up there? They've been in the program for a while, and now they're all of a sudden starting games, and you guys are really playing the same game every game out.
Well, there are captains along with Cullen, and I told them when I brought them in the first day after they were elected captains by their teammates it's fun to go out and shake hands and call yourself a captain, but it's kind of a junky job, most of the time because, you can't, it's like being a father. You can't put yourself ahead of your kids, and no matter, and all of them have had their struggles this season. Drew, really struggled with his ankle, and Jordan has not had the year offensively that I think any of us envisioned. But it doesn't matter when you're a captain. You've got to worry about the team first, and they've done a great job of that. I mean, you don't come out of what we've been through this year and win 3 out of 4 in the meat of the season and play as well as we did on Wednesday without great leadership. And I'm just proud of them because they're learning life lessons right now more than being basketball players. They're learning how to go through some tough times and put other people ahead of themselves. And I can't be more proud of all 3 of them. And Cullen struggled at the end of that game today, and he was the guy on the bench the most, vocal of leadership when he wasn't even in the game the last 2 or 3 minutes.